from the coolest club in the district, that is Nairobi East. We meet on Tuesdays at the Nairobi Club in the Upper Hill. You know, many years before I joined, I had friends who are Rotarians. One of them is my Rotarian, Mike Eldon. He's from RC Nairobi. A very good friend of mine. At some point, we were doing same work with him. And he kept taking me to all these meetings. Now, another friend of mine called Duncan Morioki, who is a member of Nairobi East. He used to also invite me to attend meetings, but I was not very keen at that time because I was extremely busy and I was traveling a lot abroad. So at one point I said, okay, let me come and try it out. I went, and from then there was no turning back. I think I joined them when we were having some activities, like social activities. So I realized that this is possibly a group that I can join when I'm free, you know. And now, after some time, I became a member. That was in August 2012. And from then, I didn't look back. When I joined, I got very active because even before 1 year was over, I was made the Speaker Secretary. And Speaker Secretary was a tough job because my club was a very cool club. You know, we call it the coolest club. We used to have all these heavyweight speakers. So my task was to bring in very pronounced speakers for our fellowships. So I worked very hard to make sure that I brought the right people, people who would attract more members and non-members, even from other clubs. And we had a very successful year. We had who is who in business world, in political world, in diplomatic field, and people started looking forward to Nairobi East posters to see who is coming. And I can tell you, up to today, there are times we used to have about 120 attendance. And that is pretty big for a club of about 45, 50 at that time. And subsequently, I did so well. The year after, they made me the fundraising director when I was only 2 years old in the club. The third year, I was made membership director. And the fourth year after joining, I became the club president. And that was the year 2016, 2017. I actually had, I can say I had a very good time as a club president. When I was the president, that was 2016, 2017. My club was, I took over a club of 52 members, which was relatively big at that time, you know, in the district. And I decided that the first thing I want to do, we had just gotten a grant from Safaricom to put up wash in 13 schools in Kajiado. So the onus was on me and the team to implement that project. So the first thing I did was to sell that project to the membership. And so that they feel they owned it. And we also, what we did was to break it down in terms of tasks. So every other weekend, as the project was being carried on, we decided to have a project visit. And this project visit culminated to socials, just to put the team together. So one of the memorable things about my year as a president was us with one of our members who donated a bus to us, and we used to go around all those Kajiado 13 schools to check the progress of the school, as you know, the construction of the water tanks, the water catchment, and all that. One of the biggest problems the kids were facing in those areas is that many of them would not be able to come to school, simply because either they haven't fed well or they have got challenges. The parents are sending them to go get water. But when we have water in schools and water, you know, water tanks in schools, the kids were able to comfortably go to school because with water, the school can make a bit of lunch for them and can also have water to drink. I can talk about, first of all, a project I did when I was president. That was the year 2016, 2017. Our district governor then, Richard Omwela, decided with the members, meaning the presidents, that we do a signature project. And that signature project was a multi-medical camp in all regions of Kenya. So the president elected me as the chairman of that project. And the project was to be done in 4 sections or 4 regions in Kenya: Nairobi, Mount Kenya region, Western region, and the Coast region. So I formed a committee of about 26 presidents of that year. And we took about 3, 4, 5 months to plan it. And this happened from the first month when we became presidents. So we planned it now the following year in April and May. And it was very successful. During those 2 months, April, May 2017, we were able to see more than 15,000 patients from Nairobi area, Mount Kenya, Western, and the Coast. And the good thing about it is that we went to various organizations, hospitals, drug companies, and all of them were very receptive and very kind to us and very generous in terms of donating the necessary drugs and equipment to enable the medical camps. We also partnered with one of the NGOs that does the same, and they gave us a lot of doctors, nurses, and medical support and equipment to make it happen. The other project was in the year 2020, when COVID broke out. The district decided to take action to see how they can intervene. As you know, Rotarians are supposed to be people of action. So they nominated me to chair a committee to see how we can work with other parties that were doing interventions to curb the spread of COVID in our district. So I became the chair of District 9212 COVID Intervention Committee. I set up a team. We were about 9 of us, and part of us was 2 PDGs, PDG Bimar and PDG Gita, and the rest were Rotarians from various various countries in our district. And our first thing was to seek partnerships. Partnerships from drug companies, partnerships from various institutions, especially the ones that provide the masks. It was very successful because within 3 months, we were able to get a lot of donations from well-wishers. I'll give you an example. In the first 3 months, we were able to get almost 100,000 food baskets that were donating to people who had lost their jobs, and especially people who are based in the informal settlements. We were also able, through a lot of good partnerships, to watch more than 12 million herds within the first 6 months. And you can imagine at that point, watching herds was one of the most sought after. And not just washing hands, it's washing hands with soap and washing hands the right way. So we worked with clubs within the regions, and that included Southern Sudan, even in Ethiopia, to get information that they could share with the communities, especially on preventive and taking care of themselves. We got a lot of donations from many organizations, especially within Kenya. And we use the clubs in various areas where they are located to go and do the interventions. And every weekend within that period of COVID, clubs were busy, up and down, setting up water tanks with soap and sanitizer. Because one of the key things that was being emphasized is that wash your hands thoroughly, all the time. Because transmission was mostly due to herds that were contaminated. So at the end of the intervention, that was around July 2020, we had given more than 100,000 food hampers. We had watched more than 50 million herds. We had visited level 5 and level 4 hospitals and given them PPEs. At that time, PPEs were in great demand. I became a club president 2016, 2017. Just when I was about to finish my presidency, the incoming district governor then, PDG Peter Bowie, he tapped me and asked me if I can be his DCA chair. That was happening the year after my presidency. And I kindly accepted. And the reason why I accepted is that when I was inducted in Rotary Club of Nairobi East as a member, my mentor was PDG Peter Bowie. He took me to more than 6 clubs in Nairobi, just for me to see what goes on in other clubs, kind of benchmarking. So I got a very good feel of what it is to be a Rotarian. We also went to some of the projects of other clubs, and you can imagine, as a new member, how interesting it is to see what people are doing and the impact they are doing. Real people doing real things that have got great impact out there. The year after, 2019, just when I thought I was going to rest, I was made the vice chair for the East African Projects Fair. Now, setting up the Projects Fair involves working with the partners from all over the world, and also setting up a huge area within the DCA where clubs can come and showcase projects and meet interested international partners. So we work day and night to get those partners to come here and to get clubs to put up booths whereby these partners would have a chance of discussion. In the year 2019, again, I was requested by PDG Jeff Bamford, who was then the incoming district governor, to become the district secretary, which I accepted. So I worked with him, the district secretary. It's a very responsible position. Among other duties is to make sure that you plan for the DG club visits and making sure that the DG calendar is well balanced throughout the year. I also became the deputy chair for the East African Projects Fair that was held at the DCA in 2019, the year of Jeff Bamford's DG-ship. That was also quite tasking. We had to get partners from all over the world, and we had to get clubs to set up booths so that they can meet the partners, so they can discuss potential projects within our district. After PDG Jowatin, the next DG was Patrick Obath. And Patrick kept me. He retained me as his district chair for membership. And I did very well. Again, we were almost the top in the zone. Actually, we were mostly the top in the zone and among the top worldwide. During Patrick's year, PDG Patrick's year, there was this thinking that we were having challenges in the district because we didn't have good governance structures. So the PDGs then, I think it was the Troika, they started discussing about setting up a governance committee. So during PDG Alex's year, I was appointed the chairman for District 9212 Governance and Ethics Committee. It was a very challenging position because there was no precedence. I had to think from scratch. First of all, I get a team and then start thinking, where do we start? There was virtually no district we knew that had a governance and ethics. So I had to get a team together to kind of start planning and creating. From the word go, we started formulating policies that to do with governance. So we worked, and by the time we finished our first year, we had about 12 policies that had been passed by the district assembly on governance. The first district governor in Africa was in South Africa, Johannesburg, in 1926. This year we are celebrating the 99th this year in our district 9212. So automatically next year, this year will be 100th this year. So looking at those two facts, it makes us the centenary team next year. That will be 100 years of Rotary in Africa. So it's a great honor for me to serve as a DG during that year. We are looking forward to epic celebrations throughout. We are going to work with the clubs through the centenary share for the district to make sure that every district has got a centenary director. And through that, every club will have a centenary project, either a standalone or in a cluster. As you know, most clubs are put at a cluster through the AGs or through the regional coordinators. The second level is going to be a series of activities. One of the key activities is going to be joint with the District 9213 and District 9214. These are our neighboring Rotarians from Uganda and Tanzania. We are planning an event that cuts across, and it's very similar. So we are looking at various options, and with the next month or two, we are going to sign a kind of an agreement, three of us, on what we are going to do jointly. Well, what happens is that some of the projects that we are working on are not centric to 1 year. They are long-term. And for us to be successful, even as individual district governors, you have to work with the people who are coming after you so that the decisions you make can have, are going to have impact on years after you've left. When you work with your district governors who are coming after you, you are aligned to the long-term goals of the district. Because as much as the long-term plan is 5 years, you can only be district governor for 1 year. And you don't want the district to start reinventing itself again after every year the district governor is gone. So it is working very well, and it's going to create a lot of seamless transition from one district governor to the other one, in terms of projects, in terms of administration, in terms of governance, and it's going to create a very good working environment for all the district governors in the future. What I would request every Rotarian is feel that you are part of this centenary celebration. As an individual, ask yourself, what can I do? Either at the club level, at the district level, at the cluster level, but do something. Come out of it to say, I was part of that specific interventions during the centenary. And I'm proud that I celebrated the centenary in style. The fun part of it is there, and we expect all of us to be there. We also want the impact of individuals. You can give to the foundation. You can say, this centenary year, I'm going to be a PHF. Yes. You can say, this centenary year, I'm going to do this or that will make you stand out as a Rotarian and feel I've contributed to the 100 years celebration. In the last 100 years, we have saved many lives. There are clubs within our district that every year have got medical camps, and they change the lifestyle of those communities. Recently, we were in a medical camp in Narok. We came across some communities, individuals who had been having specific ailments for 30, 40 years. They could not even leave their houses or their beds. But through the magic of Rotary, we got the surgeries done, and now for the first time, they can see. Imagine the magic of Rotary.